If you don't know who four-star running back Jay Lamar is, today you're going to learn. He is a four-star running back from South Georgia out of Colquitt County who I think has the potential to be a special back at the next level. And I think Georgia sits in an excellent position right now to land him. Now, I know Georgia's still hard after the elite out-of-state running backs, Savion Heiter, Derek Cooper, Xavier Crowell, but I'm telling you right now, this kid, Jay Lamar, has the potential to enter five-star status as we move on. He was an unknown prospect going into this past season as a junior and absolutely lit it up for Colquitt County, and his recruitment absolutely blew up at the middle of the season. He ran through a really tough Lowndes team for 180 yards, had a 77-yard touchdown that you can watch over on Dawg Post that really kickstarted his recruitment. Georgia offered 3 days later, and then he saw offers from basically everyone else. Auburn, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. Everyone is offering this kid. And right now, I am going to probably move him into the #1 running back prospect in the state of Georgia over on Dawg Post. So that's what this video is all about, because as I've been reporting for a while now, Georgia needs to take two of the best in the country in the 2026 class. They only signed one in 2025, three-star Bo Walker, who I think is probably better than people realize, but they need to hit a home run in 2026. And I don't think they're going to land both Savion Heiter and Derek Cooper, guys that I think have been on Georgia's board the longest. They're the two top-ranked running backs that Georgia's after, but Jay Lamar burst onto the scene in the fall. He went to take a visit to Athens when Tennessee came to town, and he is going to be back for an official visit at the end of May. But this is definitely a guy that Georgia fans need to keep an eye on, because if you turn on the tape, you're going to love this kid. He's big, 5'11", right at 6 foot, 200 pounds. And I had to remind myself that he was that size when I watch him on film. He brings elite balance, outstanding change of direction, and dude runs a 4.4, okay? So he's got plenty of speed at 200 plus pounds. And I mean, he's big, fast, physical, and his balance, the way he runs, the way he stays on his feet after contact really stands out. And again, you can watch these highlights over on Dawg Post, but I think it was that 77-yard touchdown reception against Lowndes that really opened up everyone's eyes. It was a little swing pass that, he caught kind of spinning around. It wasn't the best pass. He kind of had to change direction to catch the pass, spun off one Lowndes defender, broke two more tackles, and then outran two more for 77 yards. And when that came out, again, that's when the offers started flooding in, especially that one from Georgia that came Monday after that Friday game. So, you can read, again, more of this over on Dawg Post. He was the backup. So if you go look at the numbers, they're not totally eye-dropping or eye-popping. He was the #2 for Colquitt County and still rushed for 885 yards and 11 touchdowns on just 112 carries. So that's an average of just under 8 yards a rush in South Georgia against quality defenses and competition week in and week out. And this guy brought it. He also caught just 8 passes, but he took him 172 yards and 2 touchdowns, including that massive 77-yarder against Lowndes. He ran through Lee County for 120 yards and a touchdown. I mean, this guy did it against really good teams, and his recruitment is taking off. He is ranked right now as the #13 running back prospect in the country, but I think he's better than that. He's also ranked as the 142nd overall prospect. I think he's better than that. And again, he's still kind of new to football. I don't think he played as a freshman and a sophomore. Again, he was unknown until he took off as a junior. I think if he continues to work hard and develop, from everything I'm hearing, this kid's stock is only going to rise. His ranking's only going to rise, and he has everything you need. This guy checks just about every box you look for in a running back, and I think if he ends up in Athens, he's going to do some special things, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if he were in that five-star, category, five-star contention in the 2026 class down the road. And again, I'm moving him up to the #1 running back in the state. We'll see if other outlets follow, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. But if you're just an average Georgia fan, you follow recruiting here and there, you may not know a ton about this kid, but he is absolutely legit and could be Georgia's next great running back. I really believe that if you were to jump on board. He's been on record in the past saying that Georgia was his dream offer. Auburn has him #1 on their board. Again, everyone wants this kid, and Georgia's going to have to fight off a lot of other major programs to get him. but he's a South Georgia kid that's been watching Georgia football for a long, long time. Definitely a guy that Georgia fans need to keep an eye on. And I've written a story about him already over on the website. And earlier this week, I spoke with Sean Calhoun, the head coach at Colquitt County. Great guy. I've known him since his days at Carrollton. But, I asked him, I said, what makes him so special? Why is he one of the fastest rising running backs, not only in Georgia, but across the country? Here are some nuggets that he gave me as far as strengths go. Physicality, toughness, speed. He loves contact. He's competitive. His competitive drive stands out the most. Great teammate / family oriented. Wants his teammates to succeed more than himself. He wants to / needs to be the best. He said those were his strengths. And so what makes him special? He said his testimony, story, and journey to this point in his life makes him special. His family is everything to him. His work ethic. He loves the weight room, kind of a weight room warrior, always looking to get stronger. He always wants to improve. He knows where he was and doesn't want to go back. He's got God-given stuff that most don't have. So, and I'm going to dig into more of his background and kind of family history and lifestyle. But, you speak to people around this kid and they're saying that he's bought in, right? He knows where he's had to get and what he's had to go through to get to this point where he is a star running back and one of the best running back prospects, again, not only in Georgia, but across the South and across the country. I do believe that he could be a top 5 running back in the nation in the 2026 class if he keeps on doing his thing and improving. And he's going to get more touches next year as a senior. Again, there's not a lot of tread on the tires at all. He is fresh. And again, he was only second on the team in carries last year, but when he got those carries, he made them count. And again, 8 yards a rush. Really, really good numbers. He can help out of the backfield. He's tough. He's a willing blocker, and that part of his game is only going to improve. But there's a lot of really good running backs out there, and I've been reporting on this for a while. If you need 2 or 3 running backs, this is the year to do it. And of course, they're sitting in a pretty good spot still for Savion Hydra, the number 1 running back in the country. I think they're probably looking at number 2 right now, behind Michigan. Still in the mix. I can see Georgia landing him. Long way to go. It's going to come down to those visits. Derek Cooper was basically on the commit list for, a cup of coffee. I think that one might come down to Georgia and Miami. I think it might be important they land one of those 2 guys. But if they end up with Jay Lamar, that is a guy that Georgia fans should be absolutely thrilled about. And if you, or follow Georgia high school, football, and if you're into that stuff, you've probably already heard of him because, again, he's one of the fastest rising, biggest breakout recruits of the fall, right? He went from 0 to one of the best running backs in the state. And again, he's proving, on film that he might be one of the best in the country. And I think at the end of the day, he will be. Janaz Walton from West Georgia out of Central High School. He's definitely a guy to keep an eye on as well. He's right there with Jay Lamar for me. I think they're both top 10 prospects in the state. And probably the 2 best. You've got Carson Baker out of Langston Hughes, another guy who can really run with really good size, put up big-time numbers this past year. Amari Latimer holds a Georgia offer. He's out of Sandy Creek, another big, powerful back that's been running through defenses for 2-3 years now, his entire high school career. It looks like others are making him more of a priority, but the more I watch Jay Lamar, the more I try to dissect that tape. And again, you can watch that over on Dawg Post. Watch those junior highlights. Watch the film that he put up against Lowndes. I think you're going to absolutely love this kid. And again, if he continues to, on this trajectory and learns and keeps developing and working hard, I think he has the chance to be special at the next level. And hey, he could be Georgia's next superstar running back if things go according to plan, right? According to Georgia's plan. But again, they sit in a really good spot in his recruitment right now, and we'll see where things go. But a lot of teams, a lot of programs really, really love this kid. And I think Georgia's done a good job of positioning themselves right now. So we'll see if he makes it back for a spring visit. I expect him to. I just haven't confirmed a date, but it would surprise me if he is not in Athens later this month to check out a spring visit. And of course, he's got that official visit in June, but he's no stranger to Georgia. He's developed a relationship with that staff. And right now, if I had to make a prediction on where he ends up, it would be the University of Georgia. And if you're a Georgia fan watching this, that should be, you should love that. I'm telling you right now, this kid is legit. He can play, and I think his ranking is only going to rise if you look at all the other outlets. I think he's the best running back in the state the more I dig into him. And again, Georgia's in a really good spot, and you can read all of that and more over on the website. He is a big time prospect that Georgia fans need to know about, and you can learn all about him over on Dawg Post. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. I'll see you over on the website.